Take number 2. I didn't have any of my audio settings set up apparently, so there was no desktop audio or mic audio going into Streamlabs. That sucks. But anyway, week 2 AD2L season 32 is done. I've seen some stuff in the Discord, so I'm not completely going in blind, but I've heard it should be a good week, so I'm pretty excited. Not too much I need to talk about here, so we can jump in, I think. Series number 1, we got PR, Prancing Roosters versus Victoria's Secret 6-player. This game, I like the less track. I think this year is pretty good. I don't think it gets played a lot in our level just because it's kind of a harder hero. I think Centaur is decent. I really like the Wyvern. I think Wyvern's like literally the best hero right now. For Prancing Roosters, this is a offlane Clockwork. It's interesting to me. I don't think Clockwork is the best offlane right now. I like it much better in the 4 position. Looks like they wanted the Undyne in the 4 position and Witch Doctor in the 5. Totally fine. You got some healers in the healing meta. I'd like to see some Holy Lockets though. Overall, I think I like 6 players draft here. They got the Centaur to get on top of the Sniper. I mean, they got the Wyvern, which I think is wicked good, so I'll go with 6 player here. I would have liked to maybe see a smoke play or something. Then you kind of just chase and get the Centaur ulti so the Jug can get in the fight. I would almost disengage here. There's a really good hook shot into the Wyvern. Good tombstone. Probably tombstone on death. I just can't kill anything in the back line. Oh, good. Goes up the Lesh. Good Omni Slash. Gonna end up on the Clockwork, I guess. Good poker thing here. Get the Jug. Sniper's just beating away in the backline. There was a buyback on Lesh, so you have to be careful on there. Yeah, they're just gonna disengage. So it ends up being a 4 for 3 with one of them being the Aegis. Draft number 2, Prancing Roosters. They went with something a little bit more unconventional. They had offlane CK, which is decently popular in Archon. Mid Bloodseeker, which you don't see a lot. 4 position Wind Ranger. All pretty interesting picks. 6 player. I think they went relatively greedy here with the Sven, Ember, Bristleback core. You got 3 melee cores. Nah, I mean, I guess Bristleback can kind of make space, but on the Sven and the Ember, you kind of need a little bit of farm before you can jump in. Like, I mean, he even went first item Lincoln Sphere. So you just need, I think there's not enough early, space creators for this level of late game greed. And PR, I think, has a little bit better wave clear with the Wind Ranger and then the Warlock if you get Shard. Again, I think you really should have got Holy Locket here, but I probably put way too much emphasis on that item. Anyway, I'll go with Prancing Roosters here. I think it's okay. I don't really love the offline CK. I don't really love the 4 position Wind Ranger, but it is what it is. If you're an offlaner, especially. If you carry, it's still pretty good. I mean, it makes illusions of everyone. It really just confuses the other team. They smoke up too. 2 smoke plays running into each other. Smoke's gonna break.
Mega kill! Triple kill! Monster kill! Ultra kill!
Yeah, the Sven definitely got blown up, but 6 player wrapped around here. He got on the back line. That was a big fight. I want to say not a bad series overall for a 2-0. I mean, this game was really close until maybe this team fight. Then 6 player had their advantage here. Then took this team fight. Game was over. This game 1, I think was a little bit more 6 players sided. It was a little bit longer too. So they just took their time to end up got all their buildings before taking the Ancient. So 2-0. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was a 1-1 there. I mean, like I said, this game was pretty close. So, good job for Prancing Roosters. Really good job by 6 player, though, to get a 2-0 here. They've been playing really well this season. So, gotta love that. All right, the second series of the week, we got Extra versus Midnight.Impulse. This should be a good series. Let's see. So, Extra, they go with the Ursa. I think that's pretty not the best right now, but it is what it is. They end up getting Tim the Enchanter, offlaner for FOTP, coming in playing 4 position. Offlane Dragon Knight. Interesting. Midnight.Impulse. They got the 4 position Hoodwink. I don't mind this. I was going to say it's a little bit greedy, but you look at these cores and they all can pretty much fight early on. Jesus, Fiery Man with 2 Divine Rapiers. This game must have been insane. I don't love Shadow Demon right now. I think he's in a pretty bad spot. I love Hoodwink, though. I think I want to go with this draft here for Midnight.Impulse. I mean, I think it's a pretty decent spread amongst the cores for farm priority. You're going to need a lot of farm on Bristleback, but Void Spirit kind of can fight early. Same with Gyrocopter, so I actually like this overall. I wish it was a different support instead of the Shadow Demon, but I like the draft still. I think it's pretty good. This one also, similarly, I think it's decent. I love Shaman with the Ursa, but actually, Machine, Buck 2. I mean, this is a solid draft too. I'm just going to go with Midnight here, though. Looks like Extra might have Mega Creeps. I can't tell if they have top one. They do. Ursa jumps in here. He's got... They blew up the Hoodwink. Got back out. Oh, huge coil. Oh, this Shower Company's doing work now. Big break for Bristle. This is back in, kills the Void Spirit. Lots of buybacks here. I do like the Shadow Demon against Ursa, actually. I should have mentioned that in the draft. That's like my favorite support to play against an Ursa. Huge. Gosh, so many deaths here. They get the Ursa. Dragon Knight's getting low. Dragon Knight dies. Puck is going low. Is Machine gonna be able to escape? Nope. Game number 2, Midnight.Impulse go with the Ursa this time, and the Dragon Knight. Offlane Outworld Destroyer, not sure how I feel about that. Is this an actual offlane, or was it just a mid that they rotated for matchup purposes? I don't know. Extra, they go a little greedy here. They got the TA, Tim the Enchanter, Shaman again. I like Phoenix right now. Hopefully they got the Holy Locket. They did. Timbersaw I think is pretty good at Space Created. I feel like with this lineup, you need someone a little bit more active than a Juggernaut. You know, the TA wants to farm as well, so I would have liked to see something here a little bit more active. I really don't like the offlane Outward Destroyer. Maybe it's really good. I just don't know, so I'm going to go with Extra here. I just wish that this carry was a little bit less greedy, and then I think this lineup's really well-rounded. Again, Midnight.Impulse, not a bad draft at all either. I just don't love this offlane OD. But then again, if the roles are reversed, there's an offlane Dragon Knight. I don't hate it either. I just don't think OD is actually that good right now. So I'll go with Extra, game 2.
That is for certain.
Oh, the line jumped in. BKB and blew him up. Are they going to kill the Witch Doctor too, maybe? Good Glimmer Cape? Wow, it's a chicken. Oh, Fireman died in the back line to it. See, this is a good egg. You can't really kill this. Almost Ares is trying to, but yeah, he was probably dead as soon as that egg went down, so he probably just tried. Again, really good series 2-0 for Extra. I don't think these games were walks in the park by any means. I mean, this game went to 50 minutes. There was a Mega Creep defense for a while. You have 2 Divine Rapiers on Gyrocopter here. Literally, there was no fighting for the last 5 minutes of the game. The last 10 minutes of the game, 12 minutes, there was one fight. So what happened is Tim the Enchanter, I think, refreshed his ulti on Shadow Shaman, took the base. Pretty exciting finish, honestly. It was very close there at the end. And then game 2, I think Extra just played this really well. Again, it was a little bit of greed of a lineup draft, but they ended up making it to, 20 to 30 minutes. They hit their timings really well. They were able to allocate farm early. Overall, pretty well done. Impressed with Extra. I don't think, Midnight.Impulse played bad by any means. I think they're still a pretty decent team. I just think Extra is showing off for everyone. Again, 2 weeks. I don't think they've had Dan Rather either. So I'm curious to see when they get Dan Rather back, how that goes for them. I assume Dan Rather's still on the team. I think he was in my thing. Extra Dan Rather. Yeah, so, I mean, curious to see how he does, or how the team does when he comes back. I'm hoping they do better, which is going to be amazing. But we will see. Third series of the week, we got Grin Swift versus Victoria's Secret for the memes. Jumping in. You got Lena, I think it's really good right now. A Carry Razor, interesting. Hoodwink, I like. I actually pretty much like this lineup all the way around. You're probably going to get a little bit more greedy of a core here because your other positions can fight. But I like it. I think Razor's a good spot too. For the memes, They got a pretty, wow, really greedy. So this is a 4-position Lesh, mid Bristle. So it's pretty greedy. I mean, they recognize that Bristle's going to need a lot of farm, so they put him mid. Their only support here is the Tree and Protector. I think I like Grin's lineup a lot. I think the only thing I would even consider changing is going something a little bit more greedy than the Razor, but I don't think you have to at all. I think it's a pretty solid draft, so I'll go Grin game 1. Grin just want to fight. They're pushing high ground here. You really need good defense out of 4 of the memes. They don't have great high ground defense other than this Lesh Shard. I think is super good. The Lesh or the Grimstroke ulti coming in. Jug wants to go in, but the Lesh on the back line is dying into it. Wow, huge. I just blew him up. What's the Jug? Hoodwink survives. Now it's just Bristle against the world. Can he kill the... He does kill the Sand King. Oh, and the Razor! Wow. Oh, the break. The Lina is... Oh my god, this Lina. Game number 2. For the memes. Earthshake, I'm pretty sure that's like the worst hero in Dota right now. They got a 5-position Venomancer. So this is a... Wait, 4-position... They probably tri-laned, it looks like. Oh, I really wanted this Earthshaker to get farm. I think... Not Earthshaker, Ursa. I think the Earthshaker is probably left out to dry then. He's a pretty terrible laner as a hero. So I feel like you probably got wrecked in that lane. Let's see here. Anything special? I think it's pretty well-rounded. You know, nothing too crazy. You got wave clear. You got a greedy carry and 4 heroes that can fight. I think it's a pretty solid draft by GRIN. I think for the memes is pretty solid as well, except for maybe the Earthshaker. I think you get something a little bit better there for the offlane. I think that lineup is wicked good. I mean, again, both these drafts are really solid. I have a hard time finding anything too terrible with GRIN's draft. I mean, the Pugna's not great right now, but I'm going to go with GRIN again. But, I mean, for the memes have a very solid all-around draft as well, so it's hard to not pick them here. But I think if you just improve the Earthshaker pick a little bit, this draft is super solid. One's following it up. Ooh, the Echo Slam. Commitment. It's a 5-man rotation. I really like this rotation before the memes here. Oh, Ravage though. Good ulti by Kaminari there to catch the Pugna and the Tidehunter. This Dragon Knight's doing work. He's got like no... I guess he just got Blink. Oh, since the last fight. Or when they killed Grimstroke. Juggernaut ulti kills 2. That was nice. I didn't even know you could do that with the Grimstroke. Does he even get the damage? No, it doesn't go down. Wow. Well, this was a really nice series, 1-1. I'm not even sure what I predicted, but this game seemed to be super duper brawly. But really good game. It felt like. I mean, we watched this clip, right? It was an early lead for GRIN, and then 40 memes took that fight top lane. They ended up taking their advantage. They held it really well. It looks like a couple of good fights here for GRIN to try to pull it back, but in the end, it was too much. And then game 1. Yeah, just a lot of really good fights out of GRIN here. That Lina was chunking. It was doing... They had, like, no damage items. Just a lot of attack speed, I guess. No armor, maybe, on the other team. Yeah, I mean, a bunch of kills. Look at 23, 1, and 12 on this Lina. It just went off. Really good series. So far, probably the series of the week. We'll see. We still got 5 more to go through, so maybe not, but very good series. All right, the 4th series of the day here. We got Red 5 standing by versus Copium Krab. Let's jump in. Anything crazy? Mid Lina, carry axe. So nothing too crazy here. I mean, carry axe is pretty unconventional in my opinion, but it's getting a lot of play in the pro scene. So it is what it is. A lot of heals here. Hopefully Holy Locket. Yep, 2 Holy Lockets. Nice. And then the offlane Clockwork. They got JoJo in here. Again, from FOTP. Interesting. I don't know if I love the offlane Clockwork, but I know JoJo likes it. So JoJo likes Clockwork in general. Copium. Let's see. 2 huge meta picks here. I think this is really well-rounded here. I really like this lineup for Copium. You got the Wyvern, who's wicked good right now. The Luna's wicked good right now. You got a mid that doesn't really need that much farm. You got the Tide Hunter, who's good for team fight. The Ogre, I think you could have got something a little bit different, but it doesn't really matter. I think Copium's draft here is really nice. I like them in game 1 here. It's just well-rounded. I feel like you got a lot of room. You can go more greedy here on red 5, which isn't something you see a lot in Archon. And I forgot this JoJo Clockwork build. Dude, it's so hard to play Clockwork against Void Spirit. Oh, they smoked but instantly braked. Huge Ravage. Oh, they kind of stacked their ultis a little bit here. It's looking pretty good for red 5 so far. No one's dying. The sustain for both teams. You got nothing to hold the Void Spirit in though. This Luna's just throwing glaives around. Dazzle saves himself there. Oh, he gets caught out, yeah. Again, this Luna's chunking. I mean, he has a Daedalus though. Buy back on the Clockwork. I think you guys can kill him there.
Double kill.
Game number 2, red 5. They go pretty push heavy. You got a mid Mirana for JoJo. Interesting. Wait, no, this is a Roman Mirana. He was just mid enough times, shoot enough arrows that it gets him the mid tag. That's funny. Mid DP. I like this a lot. This is pretty well rounded. You got DK who doesn't really need any help in lane, so you pick the Mirana with it. I really like that. Line and Jug are decent, and then the DP's nice. Copium, they go the Luna again, and TA. These two heroes kind of want to do the same thing. You know, they both want to farm stacks, they both want to farm jungle. They got the, what is this, 5 position ABBA. I mean, this isn't a bad draft by any means. I think you maybe need a little bit more of a space creator for either your Luna or your TA you trade out. I think Axe can make space, but you have 2 heroes that just want to farm jungle, so I think you need someone else to help make space. So I really like red 5's draft here. I think it's very well rounded. I think they thought of lanes ahead of time, so I like, you know, this off lane, this safe lane as well. So overall, I'm gonna go with red 5 game 2.
Under attack. Can he get the kill though? Zeals is ready, but he's taunted. Dunk 2 misses, but they're still gonna get the kill.
Yeah. Oh, fear on the that's pretty good. They're gonna get that. No Omni Slash. You should go for this guy. Big call coming in. Are they gonna be able to get him out?
He is spare. They can just hit him though. He really wants EX.
Gonna look to die. Oof. Oh, just not enough.
Really, really nice series from Copium Krab. They got the 2 over red 5, who I had as the strongest team coming in. They did have a stand-in, similar to last season where I thought FOTP was the best. They had a stand-in, they lost a couple. Red 5 get a stand-in. Ironically enough, JoJo from FOTP. I don't think it matters. Copium Krab played absolutely amazing. This game 1 was super good. I mean, game of the week, single game. Just so back and forth. I mean, at one point, red 5 get almost a 10k lead, and then that one team fight I showed over by the mid-tier 1 for Dire ends up going Copium Krab's way, and they just literally win off of that. I mean, they take their racks, they take another good team fight because red 5 scrambled, and they don't have the luxury of being able to wait for everyone to come up, so I actually didn't even watch the team fight. I would assume that they just have to rush and make plays because they're losing their entire base. So really well done from Copium Krab. And then game 2, it just looks like Copium Krab played super well. I mean, they had that one team fight I showed was basically like it. After that, they held their advantage. Red 5 made a little bit of a comeback here. They killed the Luna. Actually, they killed everyone except for the Dark Willow, who was a master tier or level 30 Dark Willow or whatever. But it didn't matter. In the end, Copium Krab still won. Really well done by them. Very impressed. Taking down red 5 2-0 nonetheless. Not even a 1-1, a 2-0. So really, you love to see it. Good series overall. The 5th series of the week, we got Goon Squad versus UnRivaled. UnRivaled, they just won Harpies last week. I think they are up there. Goon Squad is a newer squad I don't know too much about, so I'm really excited about the series. Let's see. So Goon Squad, they get the Wyvern. I've said that so many times, it's really good. I think these cores are pretty greedy though, other than the Wyvern, and then you get the Pudge, which everyone knows how I feel about Pudge at this point. I feel like it's just kind of a waste of a hero. I think it's a little bit better now if you get the Shard, which they do, but bleh. Unrivaled, they got Viper, I think is really good. Underlord, I think is really good. Wow, this is a really well-rounded lineup, I think. I mean, you probably could have gone something a little bit more greedy for either the Viper or the Gyrocopter because they both can fight early. But you can get wicked farmed on a Viper. I mean, we run carry Viper sometimes because you're able to get so farmed on it, and it feels like a Drow Ranger or a Sniper. You get that slow and you just output that much damage. So I like this combo between the Viper and the Gyrocopter. Overall, I definitely like the Unrivaled draft a lot. I mean, I don't like Pudge at all. I think Wraithbane, Ember, and Centaur are kind of a greedy trio. Centaur can kind of make space, but you really want to farm on him. So I'll go Unrivaled game 1. Yeah, I'm going to have replay bugs. Ugh, I hate replay bugs. Alright, well, they're putting a lot of emphasis on this tower here. I like that. Oh, they just blow up the Hoodwink. Don't know. The Hoodwink survives? No, he gets picked off in the back line. The Centaur is in trouble. This Viper, though, is getting chunked down. He is putting out damage, but he's getting chunked down. And now the Gyrocopter is also getting chunked down. Loses Aegis. Where'd this team go? They're all dead. Dude, this Wyvern heal is unreal. I mean, that was like 2 or 3 times. Ultra kill for the Ember. Game number 2, Goon Squad. They go with this Pudge again. So, I mean, this guy must really like Pudge. It looks like he went all right. 12, 6, and 12. Get the shard again. 26 Flesh Heap stacks. Again, you know, my opinion is my opinion. Doesn't seem to matter at all. They put a lot of emphasis here, and the Pudge delivered. So, you like that. I think this is a little bit better. The Puck doesn't need as much farm to still participate in team fights. The Deuce is really, really greedy, so you're going to have not a lot of farm on these two cores, but I think it's better. Unrivaled, they go with the Naga. I like Clockwork. So this is off lane Naga. No. Carry, aggressive safe lane carry Naga. Off lane Timbersaw. Mid Spirit, Storm Spirit. Jeez. Again, this is a really greedy trio. I like the AA Clockwork combo. I mean, that's like just... There's so much kill and pick off potential with these two supports. You can almost kill anyone in the game up until 15 minutes with these two supports once, you know, they hit 6. So around the 10 to 15 minute mark, you can kill anyone in the game, just these two. So I really like that, but these cores I think are a little bit too greedy. You really only have these two to work with, and there's a little bit of desynergy between Timbersaw and Clockwork, although you can trap someone in with Timbersaw's ulti. I don't really like the Pudge here, though, and... I just think maybe the cores are a little too greedy still. I really like the Grimstroke again. I think this is a good pick. I think Centaur is pretty decent, although these cores are really greedy. I mean, this support duel is really nice. I just don't like the Pudge, but I mean, the Pudge went off. Now, maybe I'll go Goon Squad here, because I really like the Grimstroke and the Centaur. I think Puck is not in the best spot, but it's not bad for this lineup. You can even Puck ulti into a hook out for the instant stun, so that's some good synergy. I'll go Goon Squad. I think Unrivaled just have a little bit too greedy of a core trio here. Didn't need to worry about that. The backline, it's like something's also happening in the triangle. Yeah, Song with the Siren. They pick off the AA though. Oh, this Naga is farmed. Good force staff from the Pudge there. Holy cow. They blow up this Centaur. Yeah, there he goes. Good hook shot from the Clockwork. Again, I hate to play against a Puck on Clockwork. Oh, I mean, this Medusa's just too farmed. There's nothing you can do. So Goon Squad picking up the 2-0 here against Unrivaled. Really impressed with Goon Squad's play. Both games, it felt like that one fight I showed, it was pretty close. It kind of could have gone either way, but Goon Squad just had a little bit of a net worth advantage. So plus the way they played, they ended up getting the win in that little team fight, and I think it just set up the late game for them both games, honestly. It felt like they kind of had some unkillable cores, right? You get this Wraithbane, it's hard to kill, and then you get this Medusa, also hard to kill. Game 1, the Ember went off. He had 21, 2, and 9, so he had a great game. 30 assists on the Centaur. Game 2, it just, from what I saw, the Medusa was almost unkillable. Again, this Puck is just so slippery, you hate to play against it with a Clockwork. You got that Naga net, which should be able to help out a little bit for the Puck, but if you get Lincoln Sphere or you dodge the net, you should be fine. Yeah, I think just really well done by Goon Squad. Very impressed overall. I really liked Roxy's 5 picks here. I think we're solid both games. I think the Grimstroke pairing with The Centaur, you get so much move speed, and then you can just stomp with the Centaur, and then the Grimstroke stun will come off as soon as the stomp's done. So, you know, that's a cool little combo there. Oh, I mean, Ultrask was super farmed on this Naga sign. We saw in that fight, he was just chunking people. You know, a Centaur War Runner is supposed to be super tanky. He was just getting chunked by this Naga. So, very good series. Very impressed with Goon Squad. Nothing to be ashamed of if you're unrivaled there. It looked like you guys played well as well. So, good series overall. The 6th series of the week, we got Pot of Sloth versus Harpies. Okay, game number 1, they got the Wyvern. I like that. This is another Naga Siren. I guess that's become a little popular here for AD2L. Nature's Prophet, you don't see too often. I don't mind this. You got a lot of push here. You got a lot of space creators for the Naga, so overall, I like it. Harpies, they go with the mid-co-op you don't see too often. Offlane Viper I don't hate. But you don't really have any initiation here for the Harpies. That's the immediate issue I see you guys having. No initiation, no catch. So, you know, especially a lineup like the Nature's Prophet, you can just TP out. You do have a good wave clear with the Coddle. I like that pick here against all these pushes. But I am going to go with Pot of Sloth here. I think this is just a more well-rounded draft. Got a couple unconventional heroes here with the Naga and the Nature's Prophet, but I think overall, I mean, you're building like a carry in the offlane I don't love, but that's okay. I think I'll go Pot of Sloth here.
But Coach D turning attention back to the barracks. They're going to barely keep NAB as that cold embrace keeps him alive, and the roots on to Z, bring him down. Z being forced to buy back into the game. No buyback available on the Viper here. Chen playing a dangerous game walking forward. They have the silence here on the Chad Thundercock. Has no Yules for 3 seconds. Instead, Juan Solo punching away, stunning that out, trying to create as much space as possible. Chad Thundercock still one more. Double Spirit Siphon out. They don't have the damage to bring down Finley with the 4-step away, but Beastin might be in trouble. MKY throws the attack in though with Gold Teleport, and that brings down both supports. Both supports buying back into the game. The last stand here for the WSS.Harpies, but do they have enough to bring it down? It doesn't look that way. They're trying, they're throwing at everything they have. The Illuminate, the stuns, the Ignite. The Chad Thundercock stands right on the front line, has the Yules up into the air. They break the Spirit Siphons. But Juan Solo throwing another disruption, bringing down Z. That's the dieback. Chen looking for anything, still doesn't have that Aghanim Scepter. No Swift Slash. They just stall this out for a moment here with the Winter's Curse, and Juan Solo with nothing left in the tank doesn't care. Going back in, gets the stun, gets the kill onto the carry, and now the GG is called.
All right, game number 2, Harpies. There's a Lina again. I think Lina's pretty good. Darkseer, you don't see a lot of. The Luna is great right now, so I like this draft. Very solid overall. Pot of Sloth, the Nature's Prophet again, but this time it's offlane again, but they played aggressive, I think. Or maybe they just switched lanes early on. Not too bad. I think these two are a little bit too greedy. You might need to go something a little less greedy on the mid if you want to go Spectre, or something a little less greedy on the carry if you want to go Ember. Overall, I think, again, this is a solid draft, really. 2 really good drafts. I am going to go Harpies here. I think Luna's so good right now. I think this draft is super well-rounded. Maybe a little bit too greedy on the Shaman 5. I think Shaman's a little bit better of a 4, but that's okay. Yeah, I'll go Harpies game number 2.
Oh no, Juan Solo might get picked up here, Vendettaing up to the high ground. They're going to go for the last tier 3 with the Serpent Wars, now trying to crack the last line of barracks. They're looking for Megas here on the Harpies. No level 30s up yet. Juan Solo in position. They have the shackles and the hex onto NAB, but this time Coach Steve going in, finds Beastin, going to bring him down. The racks are already gone. Megas are up. They're going for the tier 4s. Luna's just choking away. The ancient down to half health and dropping. The backdoor protection is there. There's no creep to break it. She doesn't have the damage to go through it. Now Luna dangerously low. Chen has no buyback as well. Invisible. The Silver Edge, the true hero of this game. They're throwing the illusions at the Ancient, but again, there's no creeps to give them backdoor protection, and the Ancient will stand exposed. No, even with a Ghost Walk. Juan Solo trying to scout him out. He's visible now, sets up the ice wall back into Ghost Walk. They've got the true sight, but not able to bring him down through the Lincolns. MKY level 30, no cooldown on global TP. But he is hexed up. You've got to cool down on your BKB, you've got to cool down on your buyback, and you've got to cool down on this fight. Oh no, Chen getting broken, Chen being brought down, no buybacks here for the Radiant. They're going to lose their base. Tier 4s being assaulted, Glyph being used, good game, well played. This is a buyback Evoker, it's just come up off cooldown. He gets the global disarm. The back door is up. They can't get the tier 4s yet. Trying to bring the creeps down mid. Beaston's back into the game. Gets the shackle off. But this is 2 on 4. It needs a miracle. They're not going to find it. The Darkseer's back in the game. The parallel wall. The illusions are set. 4-man vacuum. They bring down one solo. But the GG is called. This one is going the way of Pot of Sloth in a miracle slobber knocker of a 2-0.
This was an absolutely amazing series, but I just want to say now, if you guys don't know who Staged Gaming is, go check him out. I mean, there's a lot of really good casters in AD2L, but God, I love Staged. He's so good at it. Oh, he makes the game so fun. Okay, this series was insane. A lot to unpack here. Game 1, I mean, it looked like Pot of Sloth are just playing a lot split pushy game here, right? I felt like the Harpies weren't really taking bad fights at all, so it was, you know, Pot of Sloth's court to really win it. It was very close until here, and then Pot of Sloth just started playing the map really well. They had this team fight here. I showed top, and ended up working out for them. They ended up winning off of that. Game 2 is definitely the game of the week. I have no faith that any game will be better than this in the last 2 series. Like, I'm going to call it now. Game of the week, 100%. Look at this chart. They had megas for Harpies. They came back on Pot of Sloth. We showed that a little bit on the end there just because of how insane it was, how close the Ancient got to being destroyed by Harpies. And then Pot of Sloth was able to come down the other way. Absolutely insane game. If you guys have any time, please watch this game. You get to see Staged, who's like literally one of my favorite casters ever. You get Kitty, who was on Harpies last season. She's helping cast with Staged. Absolutely insane game. 100% recommend this game. I don't know if I can call this the series of the week because it was a 2-0, but it was so good. I actually might just call it the series of the week because both games were pretty close. I mean, game 1, not as excited as game 2, but this game was insane. If you guys only have time to watch one game this week, don't watch your own replays. Watch this game. It's way more entertaining. All right, the 7th series of the week, we got Big Dingos, or the Dingo Boys, versus Hunt Echoes. Let's jump in. They get the Wyvern and the Phoenix. Lots of heal here. Again, this middle Venge. Is it the Dingos that love it? I think a lot of teams love this mid Venge. I'm just not a fan, personally. I have seen it work. It's just not for me. Hunt, Skywrath Mage, you don't see that a lot. You got the Hoodwink. What is this? So it's an offlane Hoodwink. And 5 Snapfire. So this isn't bad because you have someone like CK who I think is pretty greedy core. I think he needs a lot of farm to be really unstoppable. And then you have 4 heroes that can kind of fight. I don't mind it, but you are missing a little bit of the tank in the early game. Now late game CK should be able to provide that for you, but for the first 20-25 minutes you're really going to be struggling. You know, you don't have any big beefy space creators. I really like the Dingo's draft here. I think it's the only thing I would change is maybe the mid-venge and do something a little bit more space creator-y that doesn't require you to have an Agnum Scepter. Again, I understand the appeal of it. I don't think it's terrible. I am going to go Dingos here. I hope you got Holy Locket. You did. I wouldn't even mind 2 Holy Lockets, but 2 heals in a heal meta. I think really good draft by both teams, but I'll go Dingos game 1. The Hoodwink almost broke that smoke. I like the Skywrath against the Wyvern. Oh!
Double kill. Own it.
Oh my god, a lot to unpack there.
Dominating. Double kill.
Wow, wow. So they They could have killed Egg if the Snapfire attacked it one more time. A huge Wyvern ulti. Unfortunately, it was on an illusion, but it got rid of all. You see Snapfire's, whatever that spell's called, the E. You see Snapfire's little shredder all went on the illusion, so they couldn't kill the Egg fast enough. I think they still could have killed it, but the Egg ends up going off in a huge team fight win. I think if you kill that Egg, you still end up losing the fight, but I think you lose way less. Okay, game number 2. Looks like they snagged almost the same, 3 of the same 5 heroes on Dingos. I don't necessarily like this one as much. I think the offlane, oh no, CK was on the other team. Anyway, a lot of the same heroes. I don't really like this draft as much as I liked last game's draft for the Dingos. I don't love offlane CK, but if you get Ags, it's not terrible to make illusions of the draft. Or the Venge, actually. Hunt, they go with the Lena, Naga. Okay, so this is a offlane bounty, which I don't love. I like him in the 4 position. He does get a lot of farm, though. Against Shadow Demon, I don't think is that good right now. This is, I think, the second time we've seen it picked up. I do like this draft overall, though. I mean, you got set up for the Lena Sun with the Shadow Demon. This bounty I think is a little greedy, but that's okay. You don't really have, again, you don't really have that like beefy space creator for the first 20 to 25 minutes, other than this DP, right? I was saying that, and then I saw the DP. The DP kind of fixes that, because the DP can be tanky. So I really like this draft for Hunt. I'm going to go Hunt here. Again, I don't love the Venge. I see it. I don't like the offlane CK. I think this is pretty well-rounded. Maybe a little bit different pick instead of the Bounty Hunter would have made this draft super nice for me. But overall, I like Hunt. Wow. I mean, this series was similarly very good to the last series we covered. It was a 2-0 for Dingos, but I think both games were very close. You look at this game, the team fight I showed really sprung Dingos an advantage here, and they held it really well. Again, but then game 2, this game was super close. There wasn't a lot of fighting at all. There was a... Right here, these 2 team fights seem to give Dingos the advantage, and they held it really well. But even at the end, this Naga was so farmed, they were killing people. They went all the way down. They ended up losing that fight on the high ground, and it ended up costing them a couple no buybacks, and there's nothing they can do, especially against this push lineup of Dingos with the Drow Ranger. So... tough, really good series though. Really well done by Dingos. Very impressed. Hunt is a very good team. So Hunt played well as well. So just a really good series overall. All right, the last series I got queued up for you guys is Bunnies and Rats versus hog.lmao. Jumping in, pretty well-rounded lineup. I don't necessarily love the 4-position Venomancer, but it has its advantages, right? So not terrible. These 2 ultis can literally just kill someone, right? So much magic damage. You need BKBs against this lineup. Pretty well-rounded. 4 space creators and a carry. I like it. Bunnies and Rats, they go with a Visage. Okay, so this is a carry Visage. You don't see Visage a lot in Archon. I love the hero. I think it's great. And then the offlane... what's this hero called? Night Stalker. Jeez, I think this lineup's pretty good as well. I think both these drafts are very nice. I'm kind of finding it hard to pick one. I'm going to go with Hog. I think it's just a little bit more well-rounded. But this is a very interesting, unique, and well-rounded draft from Bunnies and Rats. That's a replay bug. He's not smoked. He's just attacking. We're a split fight here. Krab's in the back line. Meanwhile, the Void Spirit's killing the AA. That's kind of what you need to do. Oh, that Lich ulti. Is that Joe chasing someone? He did. He killed the Stalker. And he ultis the Visage. Oh! This guy, no way this guy gets out. Game number 2. Hog. They go pretty greedy now. The opposite. They got the Bristleback. They got Venomancer again, so this guy must really like it. The Void Spirit again must really like it. But then you gotta carry Medusa. I don't like pairing the Bristleback with a hardcore carry because the Bristleback needs a bunch of... Does he have no items? Huh. Okay. Interesting. Bunnies and Rats, they go with the Warlock. A mid Pango, Luna's super good right now. Not too bad at all. You got 4 space creators and then the Luna to carry, right? So I like this a lot. I'll go Bunnies Rats here. Again, I think this is a little bit too greedy. I don't know. I haven't specs items, but overall, I'll go Bunnies Rats game 2. Got a 9k net worth lead at 20 minutes. It's kind of hard to come back from if you're a hog. This Luna's wicked farmed at 20 minutes. This is insane. It's gonna be hard to kill. Void Spirit's jumping in here. Jumps back. Looks like they're gonna disengage for the Medusa ulti. Really good call here by the Axe. And then followed up by the Pango. Look at these fatal balls just doing absolute work. This Pango, yeah, gonna sneak that kill. Is it hit the line? No. Well, I think this was a 1-1, right? Yeah, 1-1. Game 1 looked like it was pretty back and forth until that one fight I showed, and then Hog held their advantage really well. And then because I think the nature of Bunnies Rats draft, they couldn't really do too much past 25-30 minutes anyway. I don't even think they got a kill past 33. So well done by Hog there. Game 2 looks to be pretty heavily Bunnies and Rats favored. I think this Luna just had free farm at 20 minutes. Kind of just nothing you can really do if you're a hog there at that point. In case anyone was wondering, because the guy just sold all his items at the end of the game. So it is what it is. I don't know. I don't really know why you do that, but I guess I don't know why. There's no reason not to, I guess. It's just kind of a weird champ. I've never seen anyone do that in AD2L, so a little weird, but that's okay. Overall, decent series, 1-1. You like to see it. Good way to end the week on a 1-1. Alrighty, overall, pretty good week. Series of the week, I think I'm going to give it to... I don't like doing this. I think I'm going to give it to Harpies and Pot of Sloth. I just think this series was so good. And maybe it's recency bias because of I watched it at the end of the recording, but I just think it was so good. So, give series of the week to Harpies, Pot of Sloth, even though it was 2-0. Here's all my predictions. I was right. 3 of them and wrong 5 of them. This one doesn't count because this team forfeited. This week, GRIN is getting a bye because we only have 17 teams now. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we'll jump into week 3. Prancing Roosters vs Gator. I'm hoping this is going to be a close series. I haven't played yet this season, so I don't really know our team's skill to go off of. We did play against Cedar Boy and some people in a pub, and they beat us. It was a wicked long game. So going off of that, I think it'll be a 1-1. I think both teams can pull off a win here. We'll see. Obviously, Goon versus Pot of Sloth. I'm going to give it to Pot of Sloth here. I really should. I should do rankings first before I do predictions. So let's table this. Do some rankings. Okay, so rankings. I already filled out everyone's updated scores. I'm obviously going to move these 3 teams up to the top. They're undefeated here. I would even move Copium up top and extra to 2. Put Victoria's Secret at 3. I think these 2 teams are playing out of their mind. You really love to see it. I think Red 5, really good team still. I'll put them at 4. Let's see who. So we got to move Pot of Sloth up here and Dingos. We got to move up. I think I got to keep Red 5 here. Pot of Sloth played super well. Dingos played super well. Prancing Roosters will put up here. I think Harpies still really good. They almost won both those games against Pot of Sloth. So this is where, it gets a little bit different. I get my recency biases in here. Goon Squad's playing really well. They're 3-1. We'll move them up here as well. Prancing Roosters still think are pretty good. I like UnRivaled, though. I think UnRivaled is a really good team. But they did lose to Goon Squad 2-0. And they won Harpies. So maybe I move Goon Squad up here above the Harpies. Midnight.Impulse is 2-2. They lost to Extra, though. Extra's playing really well. I gotta move. Yeah, I think I gotta do that. PR, I think, is way up here with these guys. Hunt is a really good team, so I'll keep them at the top of these 1 and 3s. And then, yeah, actually, I'll probably leave it like this. So we'll go. Okay, so what I have here for predictions, we got Copium Krab 1, Extra 2. I think these 2 teams are playing crazy good. 6 players as well, I think, is all the way up there. Then we got Red 5 at 4. We got Pot of Sloth at 5. We got Dingos at 6, playing really well. Goon Squad at 7. Midnight.Impulse has dropped down to 8. I still think they're a really good team. I just have to put them down here because their record. Harpies, we got 9. UnRivaled, we got 10. Again, 2 teams I think are really good. I just have to keep down here because of their record. Hopefully they can move back up the leaderboards, play really well this season. I'd love to see that. Prancing Roosters, we got moving up to 11 or no, down to 11. They've been all over the place, but I think they're doing pretty well this season still. We got Hunt at 12, and then Victoria's Secret 40 Memes at 13, Grin at 14, Hog at 15, Bunnies and Rats at 16, and Gators at 17. Again, Gators didn't play, so it's kind of hard to move them anywhere but the bottom. The bottom 4 teams really stay the same. Grin, again, they have that bye, so I already moved them to 3 and 3 here. But yeah, this is what I'll do for rankings here, and then we'll go down to predictions. Like I said, Gator, PR, probably 1-1. Goon, Pot of Sloth. I think Pot of Sloth played really well. Goon's also playing really well, though. I'm going to change this to a 1-1. I think both these teams, again, are really good. Bunnies and Rats and Hunt, I think could be a 1-1. Could be a 2-0 for Hunt. I mean, it could be a 2-0 for Bunnies and Rats as well. Yeah, I'll say 1-1. We'll see how it goes. Harpies versus For the Memes. I'm going to give Harpies the edge. Again, those were 2 really close games in their series this week. I think they're better than their record is showing. But, you know, For the Memes could prove me wrong here. For the Memes could say that they're better than their record is showing and pull out 2-0 here. Red 5 versus Midnight.Impulse. Fireman's very adamant that his team is not that good, but I just don't buy it. I think this will be a close series. I think it's either going to be Red 5 2-0 or it'll be a 1-1. I'll say 1-1 here just because I have faith in Midnight.Impulse, and we'll see how that goes. Hog versus UnRivaled. I think UnRivaled's really good. I'm going to give them the 2-0 edge here, but Hog, I don't think is a bad team at all. I mean, they just won 1. I think they could pull off a win here, maybe 2. We'll see. Extra versus Krab. This is probably going to be my series of the week. I know Tyro called that in the Discord, but these are the top 2 teams. Anytime you get the top 2 teams playing, it's usually series of the week. I'm going to say 1-1. I really could not tell you which team's going to win. I think Extra's really good. Hopefully they get Dan Rather back. I think Krab's been playing crazy, though, so we got to give it to him. And then 6 player versus Dingos. We got to give the edge to 6 player. They're still undefeated. Dingos is a good team as well, but 6 players undefeated. Until they're not undefeated, I kind of have to give them the edge here, unless they're playing another undefeated team like Extra versus Krab. So this would be my predictions this week. A lot of 1-1s. Looks like Swiss format's kicking in. Yeah, so anyway, GG's this week, guys. Look forward to the games next week, and I hope everyone has fun.